Long ago, long before the United States existed, people lived in the dry lands of the Southwest. These were the ancestors of the Pueblo people. They lived where Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah meet. The desert was hot and water was scarce, but the land also offered rivers, fertile soil, and places to build homes. The Pueblo people learned to live with the land. They grew their food, built their homes, and created communities that would last for centuries. Their story is one of survival, ingenuity, and tradition. At first, they were simple farmers. They planted corn, beans, and squash, which together were called the Three Sisters. Corn grew tall and provided food. Beans grew along the stalks, and squash spread across the ground, keeping the soil moist. They built small homes from stone and mud. Families lived together, working the land and sharing their harvests. Life was hard, but they found ways to thrive in the desert. Over time, the villages grew larger. People learned to dig small canals and irrigation systems to bring water to their crops. They also hunted animals and gathered wild plants. Every part of the land was used carefully, and nothing was wasted. Building great villages. As the years passed, the Pueblo people began building larger, more permanent homes. In Chaco Canyon, they created Pueblo Bonito, a massive stone village with hundreds of rooms and special ceremonial spaces. Farther north, in Mesa Verde, they built homes high in the cliffs. These cliff dwellings were safe from enemies and kept cool in the hot desert summers. Imagine climbing ladders every day just to reach your home. These villages weren't just places to live. They were centers of community, trade, and spirituality. People traveled from other villages along well-planned roads to visit Chaco Canyon. Ideas, goods, and traditions moved from village to village. Daily life. Life in Pueblo villages was simple but rich in meaning. Families lived together in multi-room homes. They cooked over clay ovens and used stone tools to prepare food. Children learned from their parents. They helped in the fields, carried water, and made pottery. Every object, every decoration had a story. The Pueblo people held ceremonies in kivas, underground circular rooms. These were sacred places where the community gathered to pray, celebrate, and connect with the spirits. Life was not just about surviving. It was about living in harmony with the land and with each other. Mystery and migration. Around the 1300s, many of the great villages were suddenly abandoned. Mesa Verde was left empty. No one knows exactly why. Some believe the crops failed during a long drought. Others think people moved to find better water or more fertile land. Conflict may have played a role too. But the people did not vanish. They migrated south, forming new villages along rivers and mesas. They carried their traditions with them, keeping their culture alive even in new lands. Arrival of the Spanish. In the 1500s, Spanish explorers arrived in the Southwest. They saw the villages and called them pueblos, meaning villages in Spanish. The Pueblo people met these newcomers with caution. They traded, sometimes fought, and worked to protect their culture. Despite colonization, their traditions endured. They adapted, but never gave up their ways of life. The Spanish arrival did not erase centuries of history. Instead, the Pueblo people blended new influences with old traditions, keeping their communities strong. Modern Pueblo life. Today, there are 19 Pueblo tribes in New Mexico and Arizona. Some of the most famous include Acoma, Taos, Zuni, and Hopi. Acoma Pueblo, also called Sky City, sits high on a mesa and has been continuously inhabited for over 1,000 years. People still grow crops, make pottery, and hold dances and ceremonies that connect them to their ancestors. Visitors often notice the same things that the Spanish explorers saw: strong communities, beautiful homes, and a deep respect for the land. Culture and spirit. The Pueblo people believe that life is a circle. Seasons, generations, and ceremonies are all connected. Every dance, every song, and every piece of pottery tells a story. Their traditions remind us that civilization is not only about buildings or power, it is about connection with the land, with the past, and with each other. From the cliff walls of Mesa Verde to the mesas of Acoma, the Pueblo people have endured for thousands of years. Their story is not just history. It lives in the people, the villages, and the traditions that continue today. The Pueblo people teach us that strength comes from community, respect, and harmony with the world around us. They are a living bridge to the ancient past, showing that some stories never truly end.